Hello, good people, and we are back. Thanks for joining Watch the Game Sports. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and share the videos. But we are back. It's your man L.A. Cheatham.
Yo, good people. What's happening? It's your boy Benjamin Banneker. What's going on, good people? It's been a minute since we last spoke, but we are speaking again. Yeah, I think before we get started, we gotta do some accolades handing out here. We gotta congratulate our resident coach. You feel me? Our guy, our main man. We gotta congratulate L.A. Cheatham on last night. It was last night, right? It was over the weekend.
It was Saturday evening.
Saturday. Yeah, yep. So we gotta congratulate you. Drink some brown. Cutting down the nets. We need to post that to the page. You feel me? We gotta get that up there. So congratulations to you, because that's why we ain't been on. We've been working. We've been doing stuff. So take it away, man. Tell the people how you feel when we get in and talking about these teams that we follow.
Well, first and foremost, tonight we want to get off into the things we enjoy, which is talking sports, giving our opinions. And NFL free agency is underway. There's some very interesting signings and acquisitions that go on in the NFL. But I want to accept your congratulations on behalf of the East Chicago Central High School basketball Cardinals, Coach Ala Maru, Coach Ronnie Edmonds, Jamal Garrett, Jeremiah Ochoa, and myself. They call me Coach Snoop, by the way. That's how, those you guys don't know me by that. That's been a childhood name, and they just added a coach to it. Snoop Doggy Dogg made the name famous, so I couldn't really use it. So I just go by LA. But the kids call me Coach Snoop. Lewis Williams Jr. also coaches on that staff at East Chicago Central High School in Indiana. It was great to experience those guys. A lot of the kids I've been around, this group of seniors I've been around since they were in 7th grade. I saw them as early as the 4th, and some of them in the 4th and 5th grade. But I had an opportunity to work with them and coach those guys once they came to the middle school. And I stuck with them ever since. A special shout out to Coach Terrence West. He had these guys in the 6th grade, a handful of them. And he's on the middle school staff as well. So I want to give him his props for contributing to this journey with these young men. But the past week, we went out, we won a sectional championship. This was our second in a row. But this one, it was special. And it was also a little stressful. And the reason why I tell you that, because not only did we have to prepare to beat three worthy opponents, I also had to go up against my cousin B.O.B. You know B.O.B. He came on with us. He talked boxing with us one night, and he'll be joining us again, when the right topics come up. But when I talk about youth coaching basketball and just coaching in general, the first person that influenced me and tried to get me to coach was my mother. And I didn't really think much of it. And then I had an ex-girlfriend ask me, you need to coach. So I didn't think much of it then. But when B.O.B. made the call, me and him had grew up playing all types of sports, and from tag football in the streets to, at the playground playing basketball, or to go over to the park to play tackle football. We came from a special era, a special group of kids in the in the Calumet area section of East Chicago, Indiana, a special city on both sides of town, either side of town, from Roxana all the way over to Guthrie. It's a lot of special athletes, special kids come out of those areas. But he was the one that got me influenced me to actually coach, and it wasn't basketball; it was actually t-ball.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into the t-ball thing, and then he had some kids of his own. They were playing t-ball, and then we went from t-ball to basketball. Then that was my passion, and I had to learn uh, how to coach. But along with Bob, he's over at Gary Westside. That's who we end up being in the sectional championship. Him and Coach Bugs, Coach Chris Bugs, Coach Bob Sanders, and Sean Smith. The other coaches, unfortunately, I can't call their names, but those guys have been at it for quite a while. They've had some success at the high school level. They're getting, sending guys to college and stuff like that. One kid at North Carolina, Jalen Washington, he's a Gary Westside alumni. Played with those coaches over there. But it's always tough going against Cuz. You know what I'm saying? To actually, that's just like me and you.
Right.
You on one bench, I'm on the other. And we competing for one championship. And I told him before the game, I said, man, these are the toughest games to have to go up against you on that other bench. And they put in a tremendous amount of work, and they always had those guys ready to play. But like I said, it was a bit stressful, and I'm glad we were blessed to come out on top. But you better know that the Cougars, they're gonna be strong and coming back next season. So, but this year we came out on top, and I'm very proud of our guys. Um, hopefully we can take this experience and stack it, and hopefully get to the state championship and win one. They have some special kids, some special talent. One kid in particular, Dominique Murphy, is the all-time leading scorer for the boys at East Chicago Central High School basketball. He passed family, in-law, Eachwan Moore, the great Smooth. He passed him up the day after Valentine's Day. He passed up his record, and now he's 14 points away. If he's blessed to continue to go through the tournament, he's 14 points away from breaking the all-time leading scorers record, boys and girls, which is held by Genesee Bishop at East Chicago Central High School. He's 14 points off of that record. So, just some tremendous group of kids, and I'm gonna take our time and call out a couple of kids, a couple of the seniors. Most definitely is Yamari Wallace, Keontae Bell, Gregory Williams, and DeAndre Timms, just to name a few. And if we're ever so lucky to go a little further, and maybe one day we'll have a couple of those guys on the platform, and you get a chance to meet them, we get a chance to talk to them and share their experiences through high school basketball. And they may be able to tell you a few things about me, the other side of me as far as coaching basketball. But it was a pleasure to win the sectional championship in the city of Chicago. Get to move on. We go to regionals against Hanover Central in the Michigan City Regional, Michigan City, Indiana. And the Cardinals will be out deep because they travel well. So I expect to see all of those fans in Michigan City. So thanks again for acknowledging the guys, East Chicago Central Boys Basketball 2025 3A Sectional 17 in Indiana Boys Sectional Basketball Champions. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. See, with Snoop, I mean, LA, Coach.
Yeah. You can slip up. That's why I explained it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You It's gonna slip up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't in all this time, but you know,
I
it is
know.
what it is.
I've been locked
Mhm.
in, but tonight,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
been doing it for a long time. I remember me and Cutter came out there to see you. I think you was coaching like 6th or 7th graders then, and
Yeah, that was a 7th grade group. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I tip my hat to you because you got
Yeah.
to have a lot of patience to do that. I know I jumped in the huddle one time and I snapped on them like y'all should be killing these boys. Like
Yeah.
I just ain't
Uh-huh.
got the patience for it, but
Yeah.
just wanted to tip my cap to you and the
Yeah.
team for winning the sectional, and then let people know what we got going on outside of
Yeah,
Washington.
because it's uh um special shout out to my man Ezel number 20, Ezel Foster. He had the privilege of playing in a high school state championship game. He competed against your dad in high school at East
As
Chicago,
well.
Washington. Yeah, he played for East Chicago, Washington. He went downstate in 1976 and 1977. He competed against your dad in high school. But we were at a basketball game. We were getting ready to play a basketball game, and I call him number 20 all the time. I call him by his jersey number. And he came up to me, gave me a pound. Man, I seen you. He said, man, I seen you doing a show on Facebook. I said, yeah, man, we be having some fun, me and Cuz. I say, but the boys got me busy. Hopefully we can get back to it. So now we back to it, so there it is. So he's we back, baby. Special shout out to my man Will Bates, of course. Will Bates, the big guy, Michael Thompson came on with us before. Of course, B.O.B.,
Yeah,
Cutter Pac-Man,
yeah,
uh, Sean Bryant,
yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah,
Deverett Jasper. That's the crew. I don't hope I hope I haven't missed anybody. But I just want to acknowledge those guys because they have, at one point in time contributed to what we do over here. And hopefully we can spend more time doing it in the future. So let's get to it.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I got to be honest with you, Penn. When I reached out to you, I wanted to talk about as you can see, we getting ready for March Madness. I want to kind of focus on college basketball and also this NFL free agency day that's going on so far. But as the free agency signings start going down, I started leaning more to some of the free agency acquisitions that were going on, and I started forming an opinion about a few of the deals, and it's starting to shape me as a fan, as a sports fan. So, um, we the college basketball we can kind of get into on the back half because I believe for the rest of this month it is March Madness.
yeah.
We're gonna have plenty of college basketball to talk about. So we have not spoke since the Bears hired Ben Johnson, and since then they have been heavy on the spending the money, making some trades, bringing some guys in, trying to improve the roster. Specifically, in your opinion, how do you feel about first of all Ben Johnson taking over as head coach, and then your opinion on some of the moves they made to the roster?
So yeah, Ben Johnson. Yeah, that was feel like a little minute ago that we actually got a new head coach. Going into it, I think I had said even here on the platform, if we was thinking about going down the trade route, I wanted Kevin Stefanski out of Cleveland. I know they was talking about kicking the tires on Shanahan out in San Francisco, and then as things started to unfold, it looked like we was about to land Mike McCarthy, which I was okay with because I didn't want them to kind of take the same route that they had been taking, going to get Eberflus or going to get, Tressman a few years back or the retread.
You wanted somebody that you had at least heard about.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even the Mike Tomlin situation when that came in and got shot down real quick, like I was on board with that. But after the Lions lost that divisional game because they was expected to probably make a run, which probably really opened the door up for the Bears to get Ben Johnson. I'm like, okay, this is the number one guy in this cycle. Go get him. And lo and behold, they went and got him. I still haven't seen any contract numbers, because a lot of things been going on outside of sports. So I don't know what he got paid, but they went and got the guy that was number one in this cycle. And then, seeing him doing the media and seeing him down at the combine and all the interviews he did, it looks like one of the questions we had was, well, can he, be a leader of men, 53 men? It looks like he has the personality to do that. But again, we have to pump our brakes as Bears fans because we've been here the last several off seasons since we got Justin Fields. They always find a narrative to spin us to get us excited. Mm-hmm. So until we see it come to fruition, I think last year you said I'm holding all judgments to week 8 before I go give my thoughts on this team.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see it on the field because I didn't see it going left last year. I didn't think they was going, win the Super Bowl, but I had them at 9-8, even with Eberflus being the head coach, and we all thought they could upgrade at that position. Yeah, I never saw it going that way. So I'm happy they got Ben Johnson. Like I said, he was the number one guy in this cycle. That kind of tells your fan base, we trying to do some things a little bit different. We trying to, change the culture around here. So, I'm on board with Ben, but we got to see it come September, October, November.
Yeah. Me personally, my man Will Bates, he want to talk about in particular the edge rusher. I can't even pronounce his name. The guy out of Indianapolis, the edge rusher. That they
I
picked
can't
up
say
the Bears.
So
Will, we're gonna give you a chance to chop it up. I'm looking forward to chopping it up with you down the stretch. I haven't had a chance. Like I say, this me and Penn jumping on this thing on the humbug, just kicking it tonight, and just having a chance to just get back on and just reach out to the people and let them know we still here. Most definitely for you, Will. We got to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And it's great to hear from you. So, but me personally, like I told you, when they did the whole thing with the quarterback thing, I kind of tapped out. But I have to, when you get back to Justin Fields, exactly. But I have to be honest about some of the things I do like about some of the moves they made with the coaching staff. Nice to see Antoine Randall back home.
Back to the crib,
and that was one of the guys I was happy to see get put on the coaching staff. I can see some of the things they're doing with the roster where they're trying to make some big changes on that offensive line.
I don't get JT Barrett. I don't get that one. And he was still short. He didn't get that first down, but keep going.
Yeah, JT Barrett he's on their staff as well. I'm glad you brought that up. I think he's a
quarterback.
I think he might be. Is it a passing game coordinator as well? I'm not sure.
He might be. I know quarterbacks coach for sure. And I was like,
yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, okay, JT Barrett. And they got Eric Bieniemy as well. He's the running backs coach.
Right.
And we know Eric Bieniemy, at least in college, he was a great running back. So for all the criticism that he got, it was whether or not he was a good offensive coordinator. This right here, we know he knows this position. So I like the hire on that. But I was like JT Barrett, I saw he was the passing game coordinator. I'm like, I don't remember JT Barrett being much of a passer when he was at Ohio State. So we have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then overall, we just got to see how Caleb Williams adjusts to coaching, how well of a head coach Ben Johnson will be. And just Dennis Allen is the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they went out and got a solid defensive coordinator, and with the experience of being a head coach, I think that was a good thing. I think Ben Johnson will be able to lean on him. I Ben Johnson went out and got a really, really young offensive coordinator that he wanted to groom. The name I can't remember right now.
I think it was
But
out of
that was
Denver, out of Sean Payton Street. I think.
yeah, and that was the only hire that I was skeptical of because we know now that Ben Johnson is going to be grooming him. So Ben Johnson is going to be heavily involved in play calling. And that's what we got to find out. If he can wear two hats.
Right.
That's what we got to find out about this. And so I'm still very cautious about the Bears. To be honest with you. But those were a few things that I liked about them bringing in, especially Randall L. and Dennis Allen. I like those signings for the coaching staff. I haven't really got much into the I think they pretty much revamped the offensive line already. And then we gotta see what they do in the draft. A lot of people think they're gonna go get Ashton Genty. I don't get off until Mark Jarabs. But personally, I don't think they need to go get a running back that early in the draft. If they're going to take him I think at pick 10, I think that'd be too early.
Exactly.
And then they're saying there's a really good group of running backs in this draft. So you might be able to wait and get a running back later. Um, but you talk about the Bears unless you have more to talk about with the Bears. But see, the thing is with me, what I'm finding out now is me as a fan, because last year I had no high expectations of the Bears. So I was able to just sit back and enjoy football for the product that it was. I enjoyed watching the Super Bowl. It was good to see the Eagles beat the Chiefs. I mean, they did it in a dominating fashion, in impressive fashion. Uh, I felt that Saquon Barkley should have been the MVP of the league.
Me too. Me too.
But at least the Eagles didn't go out. They made him the highest paid running back in the league, I think. So, but I was, just able to sit back. And then, of course, my man Gilly bringing back Blow the Whistle for Too Short. I really enjoyed that. Every time I saw him come across Instagram and his social media platforms doing this thing, he had the city of Philly rocking, man. So it was really nice to see from a casual fan perspective. I really enjoyed that. And for all the criticism that the officials got for the way they refereed Kansas City Chiefs games.
Yeah.
It was nice to see the Eagles come out and dominate and win that game. So it was just good to see. I think it was a good Super Bowl from the perspective of from the Eagles' perspective of just dominating and the Chiefs like we hadn't seen them dominated before. Other than when they lost to the Buccaneers and Tom Brady years ago. But these are the things that interest me about the free agency moves of recent. Okay, so I think we both wanted to see Justin Fields succeed.
1000%. Yeah.
And he went to Philly. I mean, he went to Pittsburgh, and I thought that was a good spot for him with a good coach. He went there. He went 4-2, starting, and then he didn't play again, other than was in package plays or spot plays. Never really got a chance to start again in Pittsburgh. And I was hoping that he would come back and have an opportunity to work with the offensive coordinator again under the same offensive system, so that he could have some success. And I thought if he could get back with Arthur Smith for a second season, he would probably be a little bit more successful with some weapons, with some weapons around him in a solid running game. And they go out, they sign DK Metcalf. No, I mean they traded for DK Metcalf.
He signed into extension.
And I was like, wow, I really would like to see. I'm hoping that they can keep Justin and he can have a couple weapons. But Justin signed for 2 years, $40 million with the Jets. that's when everything I'm really shaping up as a fan and putting things in perspective. And I just came to the conclusion that you know what, the NFL free agency and maybe even the trade deadline one day. You know, I got this thing with throwback jerseys. And I just think that in years to come, NFL, especially with the quarterback perspective, because the quarterbacks are getting so much market. They market them so much, you know. I believe that it's about to get like the NBA. And what I mean by that is guys moving around so much from place to place. The most marketable position in the league is quarterback.
Right.
And now when Justin signed 2 years, 40 million, all I can say was go get your money.
And that's
Go
really
get
a
your
one
money.
year. That's like a 1 year deal because I think it's like 25 guaranteed.
He got 30 up. He got 30.
30. Yeah. So that's low for a starting quarterback, but a
Yeah.
2 year deal, like if they, bomb out again this year and they got a high draft pick and it's a good quarterback class, that'll be a 1 year deal.
Yeah, go get your money.
Right.
Go get your money. But all I could think about was, damn, he really just got drafted by the wrong damn organization.
1000%.
And now just go get your money. Go get your money. So, because I personally think that in 2 years, him and Aaron Glenn will be gone.
Yeah.
I
Especially
really think so.
When you think about that, the Jets was really contemplating bringing Rex Ryan back as the coach. That tell me all I needed to know about that position right there.
Yeah.
Like, and they went with another defensive guy. So, it's very plausible that he out of there in a year and a half. They'll give him this first year, but let that second year start off bad. They'll remove him before the season.
Let me send a shout out to East Chicago High School boys basketball coach Ala Maru. He's watching us tonight. So Coach Ala, what's happening? He just shouted me out on the book. So what's happening? I want to make sure you know that I saw you, Coach. And let's get them boys ready for Saturday as we get ready for them regionals. But like I say again, PN, just go get your money now, Justin, because I really wanted to see him stay in Pittsburgh, and I wanted to see him develop and be there for a while. But it is what it is. Go get your money. All right. You got to get that money where you can get it. But you definitely didn't sign to go win no damn championships.
No.
Okay. Not with the New York Jets. And honestly, I did not care for it's a tremendous opportunity for Coach Glenn to get an opportunity to get his, I think this is his first head coaching job.
Yeah.
But I didn't want him to go to the Jets.
Me either.
So they got two guys that I like in the wrong damn organization. I just find it hard to root for.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to root for. Because one thing the Jets in New York is not going to have is patience with those two guys.
Well, that's New York in general.
That's what I'm saying. But after I would not want to follow the act that they just demonstrated this past season with Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't want to follow that act because it's more pressure. That pressure's on them to perform. So they got 4 to 8 weeks. 4 to 8 weeks to prove that they're not just the same old Jets.
That's why I said this is very easily could be he get a year and a half, a year and 4-5 games, and then he out of there. I
would rather have seen Justin. It's hard to say, take a pay cut, but I really, in another year, I think Arizona will be looking for a new quarterback.
Possibly, because I know Kyler coming up to the end of his deal.
Yeah.
I mean, he got them to the playoffs. They was in the
Man,
playoffs.
look,
Year, but they lost.
look here. That was how long ago?
That was
The
this
only
year they
thing
was in the playoffs.
The only thing, man, ain't look here.
They lost to the Rams.
Kyler Murray.
I'm wrong.
Kyler Murray in 2 years will not be the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. That's just my thought. That's how I feel about it. But I just would have rather seen him either stay in Pittsburgh or go somewhere else. I absolutely did not want to see Justin Fields go to the Jets. Now, the Seattle Seahawks also signed Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold need to send. What's the coach's name in Minnesota?
Damn, I just blanked on it. And I like him a lot too. Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell. Sam Darnold needs to send him a check because Sam Darnold just played the best. He just had the best season of his career. He'll never be that good again.
Yeah,
he will never be that good again. Kevin O'Connell coached his ass off. And then when he asked Sam Darnold to really get it done, he couldn't do it.
Yeah, in the last 2 games. Yep.
Okay. So Sam Darnold, you need to send Coach O'Connell send him some of that cash you just got from Seattle. And in 2 years, Sam Darnold will not be in Seattle.
No, he won't. He won't. Wait, okay. What? Fill me in because I didn't see this. They moving on from Geno or was
Geno got traded to the Raiders.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Okay. I missed that altogether. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Geno's with the Raiders.
Okay.
Sam Darnold got 110 from the Seahawks. So get your money, Sam. But in 2-3 years, he probably be back up again. Okay.
And
get
if
your
it
money.
don't work out, he'll be gone. And Mike McDonald, the head coach, he'll probably be gone too.
Yeah, because now here it is. He's going to a defensive coach. Sam should have took a pay cut to stay in Minnesota, in my opinion. If he was playing for legacy and championships. But Sam, just like Justin, go and get your money. But in 2 years, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it was me, if I was the Vikings, I think I would have tried to keep Sam, at least another year or 2.
Because we still don't know the J.J. McCarthy. I mean, I don't know if I want to put all my eggs in that basket either. First of all, he got to recover from the knee injury. Then he has to play well. And we still waiting on him to throw some big touchdown passes in Michigan.
Exactly. Because, I mean, we seen him play. No, K. McNamara was the quarterback when we went to that night game that time. But, I mean, we seen him make some throws, but we don't know if he can consistently do it.
I mean, 35, 40 times a game. Because I don't think I'm willing to bet at Michigan, he probably didn't throw that ball more than 30 times in either game.
I know it's one game that he did, and we was together watching it. That the TCU Fiesta Bowl when they choked.
Okay, yeah, that's because they were playing from behind.
Yep, and he threw 2 picks.
Okay, okay, I got you. But it's a lot to be proven. But it just gets me back to my perspective as a fan. And I told you I was off on the Bears last year.
Yeah.
And when I seen this stuff with these acquisitions today, I said, you know what? Just watch the game and enjoy the game for what it is. Legacies, playing for championships is out the door. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. Those are the guys that are going to carry football for the next 5 years. We don't know who the next, or Joe Burrow.
Yeah, them 4. Yeah.
Those guys are playing for legacy from now on out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else going to get their money. And I went down to the combine. I was late. Went down there to check out, to get the experience of watching the combine. I always want to go down and watch the guys compete. I want to see the the running back, the wide receivers, and the quarterbacks compete. And unfortunately, I got there a little late. I got a chance to see your boy Shador and Jalen Milroe, and I got a chance to see Cam Ward. I mean, Jalen's a big boy. But I'm not sold on this class of quarterbacks. They say next year's quarterback class is going to be better. And personally, I think your Chicago Bears need to be taking a real good look at the Manning kid, because in 2-3 years, I really think that they're going to have a hell of a decision to make on Caleb Williams. They're doing everything they can to put Caleb in position to succeed. Now let's get back to the Bears. First 4 to 8 weeks. This is what people are not talking about. They're so happy about, and they should be, and excited about their acquisitions. But another reason why they should have fired Matt Eberflus was to put the coach and the quarterback on the same clock. So now this is my perspective on Bears. The general manager, Ryan Poles, has pressure to win right now.
Yeah.
He got an extension. The pressure's on him to win right now. Caleb Williams has to show Ben Johnson that he's capable immediately. He's got 4 to 8 weeks, in my opinion. The person in this scenario with the most leverage is Ben Johnson. This is why I say this. If they're not winning in 8 weeks, they can't afford to have any 10-game losing streaks this season.
No.
Okay? Not with the money you spend, not with the acquisitions you've made, the personnel you're trying to build around this. We can't have no long losing streaks. We also need Ben Johnson to hit as a coach. But he has more leeway than anybody else in the organization when you talk about general manager, quarterback, and coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's to say that if Caleb ain't getting it on his clock, that he won't do what that the coach did in Carolina? Say, you know what, kid? I got to bring the backup in. That's another question. Who's going to be the backup for Ben Johnson? Is he sold on Tyson Bagent? It's a lot to think about. Ben Johnson is going to shape and mold his team in his image, with or without Caleb Williams or Tyson Bagent. So I think the pressure's on Caleb to perform early. I think the pressure's on Ryan Pace for the team to win right away. And Ben Johnson, he gets a year, maybe 2, just to figure out if Caleb is his damn quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he got, I mean, he the man. Now the one thing I think for Ben Johnson, if he's losing, he got to show the ability to manage the clock and do all the things fundamentally sound as a coach that Matt Eberflus couldn't do. You can't lose and look bad as a coach with clock management and stuff like that.
And
so
you can't blow
me,
leads like they was doing.
Yeah. See, I'm no homo about this. I'm no homo about this. I'm looking at this for what it really is, what it could be. Okay, I'm done with all the optimistic stuff with the Bears. I'm looking at it for what it really is and what it could be. They set up like a bear will alignment, like we said before, like they always do. Okay, you got a quarterback with a coach. They difference in years. They flip flop. One now the coach can have a different opinion of the quarterback
because he got the leverage. Yeah.
So it's just a lot to think about. A lot to think about when you talk about the Bears and the acquisitions and the personnel, from coach all the way down to the last man on the roster, where they revamped this roster, even down to the scheme they run. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of interesting things to think about. I think me and you, we got a different perspective. That's why we got to keep hitting this thing hard as much as we can, especially when it comes to teams like the Bears and just sports in general, because I'm not a homer. I think I look at it really real, and from a perspective as a fan, like, okay, are you trying to win, or are you trying to market?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just how I see it, man. But unless you got more on this NFL free agency deal, because in weeks to come, uh we gonna we're gonna hear more about in days to come about guys signing. You know, these teams they're not done, but those were the signings that I was really, really looking at. The Justin Fields signing with the Jets, Darnold signing with Seattle. And those were the two major signings. I was like, wow, these guys just go get your money, because I think it would have been better off for Donald to stay in Minnesota if he could, even if he had to take a bit of a pay cut, if he was playing for legacy and championships and familiarity of offense and coaching. And the same thing with Justin. But who knows how those negotiations went. And now the question is, especially in Pittsburgh, are they going to go with Russ? Some talking about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I've even heard Kirk Cousins name come up in some scenarios now, but we'll see how it goes. We big fans. We will be engaged, and then we'll see how it goes. But unless you got anything to add on that, we can jump off to our opinions on college basketball to close it out.
Now we could get to the college basketball. I mean, just the one thing I'll say about the Bears, I hope they don't take Ashton Genty at 10. I know everybody trying to make that comparison. Well, the Lions took Jahmyr Gibbs in the first one. Jahmyr Gibbs went to Bama. Okay, it's a difference.
Yep.
He's
a damn difference. Yep.
And they not playing NFL level talent every week. So don't give me Ashton Genty at 10. Now, if he's there second, third round, well, he ain't gonna be that third round. But if he's there second round, I can see you doing it then, but not 10. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that's we'll see. I know we're a few weeks away from the draft, and we really got to let the chips finish falling on this free agency period. But March Madness is kicking off pretty much tomorrow night. You know, with the conference tournaments, the major conferences. A lot of them are so huge now that they starting on.
They're going clear across the country to play these conference games now. Since they blew up the Pac-12. Now the Pac-12, some of them teams done consolidated into the ACC.
Yeah,
and then some of them consolidated into the big. I think the Big
10.
12.
We got 4
and the Big 10.
Yeah, we got 4 of them. So I'm excited to see. I mean, it's so many teams in the conference now that, like, you know, the bottom 3 teams, I think, don't even make it to the conference tournament. So that's something new we haven't seen.
You gotta perform well in your conference now, just to even get a bid into the conference tournament now. You know,
which I like. I like that a lot.
That's a good thing. Yeah, keep everybody, and it also puts more onus on the regular season, even getting into the conference championship. So you got to go hard in your conference, you know, even to get in the conference tournament. I like that too, but it's still something getting used to see UCLA and USC go to West Lafayette or Ann Arbor for a regular season basketball game, and then the Wolverines may have to go out west to go, you know what I'm saying? And see something like this. Something like this, Coach Bobby Knight would have raised hell about this. He was a student athlete guy.
Yeah.
How in the hell we treating them like pros? You know, we traveling from clear across the country just to go play a conference game. This would not have sat well with the general. Promise you. This would not. He would have raised a lot of hell. You know what I'm saying? This was if this would have been, he probably would have for sure he would have gave up coaching at this point, because he wouldn't like this. He wouldn't have liked it.
But you know what? Like, he would have had to he wouldn't have fallen in line, but I'm just using the term.
No,
he would have
raised some hell,
because
he would have probably fallen in line with a little cash behind it. But he's gonna give you his opinion on how he felt about it. Yeah, for sure.
But this was solely based on football. Basketball just
yeah.
kind of had to
Yeah.
deal with the residual and the fallout of it.
Yeah.
And
And then we talk about basketball, not just basketball, it's
the other conferences.
it's all the other sports, you know what I'm saying, in these conferences. But interesting. The crazy thing, we didn't get a chance to talk about college football when it was coming down to crunch time, and Ohio State won the national championship,
Don't
probably
matter.
against your wishes, but we
They
weren't
ain't
able
beat
to
us, so
cover
it don't
that.
matter. They ain't
Yeah,
beat us.
yeah, I got you. We weren't able to cover that as much as we hopefully we can cover the NCAA tournament. But the thing about it is this NIL stuff and the transfer portal and all this stuff. I'm just hoping that it will increase the competition level. We can get some more name recognition to the sport of college basketball, especially men's in particular. And like with the women, you have Juju and the girl at UConn,
Paige Beckers.
Paige Beckers. So basically, we know pretty much 3 athletes in college sports at a high level: Cooper Flag, Paige Beckers, and Juju. Juju.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just hoping that going forward that this NIL and not so much the transfer portal. I don't really care for the transfer portal the way it's going right now. But with the NIL money, I'm hoping that they can keep athletes on campus longer. Well, as an American basketball fan, for sure, we can get a little bit more acquainted with the athlete for a couple years, and then when they go into the draft, we can follow them into the NBA because I think that's what's hurting the NBA. We don't know, outside of that 1 or 2 guys, in the American college basketball game, everything else is the French or the European, the Euro League or something like that. But I think the one thing that's going to have to help college basketball and promote the American basketball player is the NIL deal, keeping these guys and keeping these women on campus for a year or 2 of development, so that when they get into the WNBA or the NBA, it'd be a lot easier to follow their careers. Because me and you, we go back to the days of watching Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Grant Hill, Chris Webber, all those guys. We saw those guys play at least a year or 2 of college basketball, and we followed them into the pros. Yeah. And I think that's one big problem with college basketball today and the NBA as well, because we don't like. I'm gonna be honest with you. We sports fans.
You about to take the.
But do you remember? Do you even remember who the number 1 pick in the draft was last year? I couldn't. I had to look it up.
I had to look it up.
Okay, but we know Bronny James.
Right.
We know Bronny James. We know Cooper Flag. We knew Zion Williamson. We knew John Morant.
Right.
These guys were highly publicized in college.
Yeah, we knew.
And we followed them in the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just think NIL, I'm hoping that it can affect the sport in that way at a competition level and from a familiar, being a little bit more familiar with the athletes, getting them to stick around longer so we can follow their careers, as they turn pros, as they, go out to be pros. But okay, so I think Duke's number 1 in the country. Are they number 1 in the country with Cooper Flag?
Duke, let me get it. Let me pull it up here. While I'm pulling it, us another one more piece of that puzzle that we need is we need the NBA to remove that, 19 or 1 year out of high school before you can go into the draft. Because we got NIL.
Yeah.
You can go to the draft now and kind of gauge your stock.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we move that last piece out the way, the guys that want to go, they can go ahead and go. But it's an incentive for me to stay. If maybe I went to the draft combine, they said I probably need to come back. Okay, I can come back and still make me a little money too.
Yeah,
that's going to improve the product, especially for college basketball. And then ultimately, we hope the NBA.
But there's the thing about that. Since you brought that up, let me tell you what's going on. Okay, so you heard Rick Pitino, right?
What do you say?
Rick Pitino said he's not recruiting any high school basketball players right now. Okay. The NIL, transfer portal,
Mm-hmm.
and then you add to this. I was just talking to your dad about this earlier today. You get, the days where the junior college basketball player can go to the JUCO. He still only have maybe 2 years when he's
Yeah.
done to play Division One. Now that kid gets 4.
Right.
He can get 4 years now. So it's changed. You talking about the kids coming out of high school going straight to the pros? I don't even think that's a factor anymore now, because if Rick Pitino can tell you he ain't looking for any high school basketball players to come to his program and recruit them to play as freshmen out of high school, then I think that might even change the narrative on the high school athlete even going to be a pro. So they got to be that much better. They got to be LeBron James, Michael Jordan-esque
Yeah.
to be considered just to even get a Division One scholarship now.
Scholarship, yeah.
Because the McDonald's All Americans, I think those guys, you'll see those guys get signed to high level Division One, maybe even all the way to the top 50 kids in the country. But when you get past the top 50 up to the 100, all those scholarships gonna be hard to come by
Yeah.
for a high school kid.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about it in that.
Well, see, with me being involved with high school kids and talking amongst my coaching staff and other coaches, when we found this out, and we dealing with kids talking about going to college, and we got to put that stuff in perspective really, really quick. And you brought that to my attention. We talk about letting the high school kid go straight to the pros.
Yeah,
man, that whole game done changed now. So who knows? But the McDonald's All American, those guys, they will always, at least for the next 5 to 10 years, they'll always be they will always be the elite guys to at least be considered to be pros. But there's a lot to think about now when you talk about what you just brought up, especially considering the college coaches might not even be recruiting high school kids like that no more. So what does that say about an NBA scout? What does that say about the caliber of athlete that you're gonna be looking at now? Especially if you're talking about he gonna be a pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gotta be really, 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 really special. All right. I just wanted to pop your noodle on that one. Okay. That's something to think about.
So we for the college basketball top 25, and I'll just give you the top 5 teams. We got Duke, Cooper Flag, of course. Houston at 2, Auburn at 3, Florida at 4, Bama at 5, St. John's, Rick Pitino, who we just brought up, at number 6, and Michigan State at 7, Tennessee 8, Texas Tech 9, and Clemson rounding out the top 10. Out of the top 10, I have not seen Clemson play. I have not seen Florida really play too much this year. But out of the top 10 of who I have seen play, I like the Bama team a lot because they can score with anybody, and they're a little bit tougher and more rugged than they was a couple years ago when they had Brandon Miller on the squad, who ended up going number 2. I like Houston a lot, but Calvin Sampson's teams just kind of somehow find their way to self-destruct.
I mean, they they don't shoot the ball all that well. They gonna play. They're a hell of a defensive team every year. Play hard, gonna hit the boards, gonna defend, but they can't. They struggle putting the ball in the basket at times, and that's the challenge with his teams. And it's interesting that you bring that up because when you named out them, it's about how many SEC teams are in the top 5?
Top 5, you got 3: Auburn, Florida, and Bama.
Okay, and that was it crossed my mind early to bring that up. I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. We're talking about college football. Traditionally was the most recent future, other than the most recent past, with Michigan winning the national championship, and then going to the new format of the bigger format of playoffs. Now you got two Big Ten teams have won the past two national championships, but for years it was the SEC running it.
Yeah,
in the national championship.
Yeah.
For football. But now,
Georgia
all this year, the last two seasons, it's been SEC teams at the top of the college basketball, world. And it's really changed in that way. It's going to be, because even with one of the biggest matchups this year was the Iron Basket.
Yeah,
with Alabama and Auburn,
which was a
we
great
used to call
game.
it the Iron Bowl. Now you can call it the Iron Basket, I guess. But that's probably one of the marquee matchups in college basketball now. Auburn and Alabama basketball. You know what I'm saying? Things have changed, man. The SEC has really stepped this game up with college basketball, while some would say taking a step back with college football. And then the Big Ten with college football, and then the basketball might be at a drop off a little bit, but it's going to be interesting. But I just really wanted to get with you tonight and just pop your brain on these free agency signings. And I had some time on my hand. I felt like it was a good night to chop it up. And, we ain't really got to have so much of a format, but it's been a while. I just wanted to get on and chop it up with you about this, because weeks to come, we're gonna do the best we can to cover this March Madness NCAA tournament, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So I'm so happy we were able to, go on tonight and get back with some of our Facebook foes and Facebook friends and stuff like that. And
shout out to everybody that's been watching tonight. I've been watching the count. Everybody been locked in the whole time.
We haven't even had a chance to comment on everybody, but thanks for checking us out. Let me see. Twinnies, Cuz, Bud Cooley, another East Chicago Central. He was a shooter back in the day. Bud had a flame for a jumper, but just to name a few. I'm sorry if I missed some people. My boy Dwayne Rouncifer, Flip the Hood, also mentor, motivator. You know what I'm saying? He always doing some special things in the city of East Chicago, Indiana. Just to name a few, man. Like I say, I know we missed a few, but I just want to have an opportunity to go on tonight and chop it up with you and put it on the book and see how many people would check us out. So thanks for joining us tonight, and look to see us a little bit more often now that my East Chicago Central Cardinals have gotten a lot of stress off my chest, and gonna free up a little bit of my time during the week. And we are preparing for the regional championship game, and the boys are getting ready to be locked and loaded. I think we're going with a different focus this week. We learned from our experience. We also got we had some underclassmen this past week in the sectional, gain some valuable experience and step up, so they ready to go. The butterflies shouldn't bother them anymore. They had 3 competitive games in the sectional. So even those underclassmen, the kids I can name they come to name, guys like Joseph Walker, JoJo. Joe, do you remember when I sent you an Instagram footage of a guy slamming the hell out the basketball? I don't know if you remember that. It was a couple months ago. JoJo had a hell of a dunk against the Portage Indians, man, and I think he been on another level since then. We asked JoJo to guard the best player almost every night. He a junior, and this was his first year on the varsity level, where he was getting some really, really big minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He started some games. He came off the bench some games. But every night we found a way to get him the toughest defensive assignment, and he answered the bell, you know what I'm saying, every night. And he's gaining a lot of confidence. So I'm looking forward to him playing well. So just wanted to shout him out and encourage him. I told him, my man, shoot that damn ball with some confidence. Because you already know you got to play some defense. So you might as well, if you're going to shoot it with some damn confidence. Don't shoot no sideways ass jumpers. Straight up and down, baby. Straight up and down.
What's my man from Kentucky? Kid Gilchrist. Like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that type of
Yeah,
thing.
man. Yeah. Yeah. Just no, shoot that thing straight up and down. 10 toes straight up and down. Don't fade. Don't lean. None of that. Just shoot that damn ball with confidence. And I think he got it. And he ready to go. So I'm looking forward to getting with them guys. And we're going to prepare. And, having an opportunity to talk to you tonight. Now I'm ready to get back in the gym and motivated and, go try and win a regional championship for the city of Chicago.
Hey,
they're great fans.
Well, send the picture through. I don't know if you caught it, but I threw that picture up when you was
cutting the net
down the net. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we was on at the beginning. So any pictures you got, we can step our production level up just a little bit.
Oh, for sure. And hopefully we can continue to make some memories in this run. And these kids are well-deserved. Coaching staff are well-deserved. Hopefully we can continue to make some memories in this run, and I'm looking forward to it. And definitely looking forward to getting with you, getting ready for this NCAA tournament this month. So we got to stay on it because
sir.
I'm anticipating an exciting time for the month of March up until early April. Thanks for watching the game. We'll see you next time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.